What day is today?
What? It's just an ordinary crabby. Oh my goodness!
If you remember the Wii U, you deserve a veteran's discount. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is the final day of the Wii U's lifespan. Now, obviously, you can still go and get a cheap Wii U and all the games for cheap, but what I mean by this is pretty much all of the bestsellers on the Wii U have either been ported to the Switch, some cases the 3DS, or they've received a sequel on the Switch. Super Mario 3D World was the final game holding out, the last man standing among the Wii U's lineup, but here we are, 4 years after the Switch's launch, and the last domino to fall over. Donkey Kong, Pikmin, Bayonetta, Yoshi, Hyrule Warriors, Captain Toad, Splatoon, Pokken, heck, all of the main Mario games ported. Third-party games too. Zombie U, one of the Wii U's launch titles, which one of its main selling points was the gamepad's integration, was ported to Steam. Oh, don't even get me started on Rayman Legends. That game was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive, but now it's been ported to pretty much every console on the market. In fact, they even delayed it while the Wii U version was already completely finished, just so they could launch alongside the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. What the heck? Sonic Lost World, ported to Steam. Just a handful of Wii U games are gonna remain exclusives at this point. Now, I'm not particularly upset about the ports. In fact, I think they're a good thing. You know, more people get to play these great games, and these games get to be preserved better because there's more copies out there. However, what I don't like is how Nintendo's handling their ports. For the most part, every single one of them is being sold at full retail value, so what that feels like to me is like a, you know what I mean? Like Nintendo's like, because it feels like they don't really care. Like they're trying to pass it off as like a new game since they're still selling it at full value. And to me, that feels like they're trying to like erase the history of the Wii U. They want to cover up like the blunders of it, like it was deemed a failure, which yeah, it kind of was. But the Wii U era was very important to myself, and I feel like a lot of other Nintendo fans. These games were special to us because they were great games released on a console that we supported, and it was kind of at Nintendo's lowest point. You know, we were there. And it'd be great if we got something in return, you know, something that shows Nintendo actually does care about us. Like, come on, throw us a bone. Don't be such a greedy company, guys. You know, is it like a discount or something? Maybe if we have it registered on our Nintendo account, we could get like, I don't know, special merch or something. But nope. We have to buy the game just like everyone else is. Everyone's on the same playing field. Feels bad. Like, yeah, I guess you could make the argument that we were the first ones to play it, but I mean, it kind of sucks because I'm waiting on new Switch games, but everyone who didn't own a Wii U, to them it is like a new Switch game. It's just like, boom, brand new. I'm waiting on another Donkey Kong, and yet people who skipped out on the Wii U, they're like, wow, this is a new Donkey Kong, you know? I mean, Mario Kart 8 is how old? It's like freaking almost 7 years old at this point. I've been playing the same Mario Kart for 7 years, and where's the new Mario Kart? The people who didn't own Wii U, this is their new Mario Kart, you know? But to me, it's like, I want a new Mario Kart. Oh, look at me, I'm so entitled, I want a new Mario Kart. No, it's not because I feel entitled. I want Nintendo to progress, and I want them to go in a new direction, but it feels like these ports kind of are holding them back. Well, I guess I just mean in terms of Mario Kart, because it's like Mario Kart sold extremely well on the Wii U, and Mario Kart is sold extremely well on the Switch. So Nintendo, I feel like because of this, they don't necessarily want to try a new Mario Kart, or they're not planning it, which is fine, you know. But it's like, I like Mario Kart. Mario Kart is really fun. But I don't know, if I have to wait until the next console to play a Mario Kart, like, okay, I don't mean to sound so bitter. Ports are generally good for the company, for the good of the gaming community. I just hope you can understand where I'm coming from. You know, I already played most of these games, and you know, at the very least, sometimes Nintendo does add new content, which is pretty nice. It's a nice feature, but again, these games are ports that I've already played through, so it feels kind of like I have to weigh my options if I want to double dip, you know? And Nintendo never puts their games on sale. When they're released, they pretty much stay at that $59.99 price point. I mean, I've gone to Walmart and I've seen Mario Kart Wii being sold for like $40 in 2020, in 2019. How old is that game? 13 years? About? And it's being sold for $10 less. So yeah. Now, the Wii U era was special, one of a kind, because so few people owned Wii U's. It felt like we were all a tight-knit community and we were all on board this weird but wonderful train. I think this was partially because of the style of the Nintendo Directs. Nintendo had done something that few companies had done in the past. They put their businessmen and developers directly in front of the camera and had them present these brand new games to us directly. We got to know the likes of Shigeru Miyamoto, Reggie Fils-Aimé, Masahiro Sakurai, Takashi Tezuka, and most importantly, Satoru Iwata. It's not like they only did directs for the Wii U era. In fact, the Nintendo Switch has had a couple of directs as well. However, these ones felt more personal. Nowadays, whenever there even is a direct, it's just a disembodied voice announcing games and presenting trailers. I kind of understand why they do this now. Kind of funny, it's because they have way too many games to present and not enough time to talk about them. I guess this is kind of like a good problem to have, but yeah, I'd kind of gotten used to the old style of directs, when games were so few and far in between that they spent a good amount of time talking about them in depth. This was because right out the gate, third-party developers kind of dropped interest in the Wii U very quickly. I remember hearing how some weren't gonna support it until they saw sales numbers. Some were full speed ahead until they saw that the units weren't selling, so they quietly dropped support. And yeah, this kind of led into a domino effect, which then kind of made Nintendo not support it that much, you know, with the lack of third-party support and the low sales. The bare bones launch titles also didn't help much with the Wii U. I think there was Mario U, which wasn't anything groundbreaking. Nintendo Land, it was really fun, I admit, but I'm not sure it worked as well as something like Wii Sports. Zombie U, which was a more mature game, which, let's face it, consumers don't go to Nintendo to play these. Tekken as well, a couple more third-party games that really weren't that memorable for me. I think Nintendo needed like a hard-hitting game in order to make the launch of the Wii U successful, but they just didn't really bring these games. I could go on and on about the failures of the Wii U and its marketing and general confusion for the devs and the consumers, but everyone and their mothers already analyzed that. I'm not going to do that here. With each console comes a certain expectation of what games are to be made on there. I mean, of course you're going to have Mario and Zelda, perhaps Animal Crossing, gotta get Smash in there. But with the Wii U, these expectations were very sadly, slowly crushed. I mean, it was Nintendo's first step into HD gaming, so we as fans wanted to see all these lovely games in glorious HD for the first time. Man, I was so excited about Metroid, Zelda, New F-Zero would have been freaking awesome. But yeah, time slowly passed and we were kind of starting to see that it seemed like Nintendo might skip out on a couple of franchises this generation. But that being said, the games that we did get felt like celebrations. In fact, some of my favorite games in recent memory come from the Wii U, such as Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze. Pikmin 3 was a surprise hit for me. I've never played a Pikmin game before, but man, that game just kind of blew me away with how awesome it was. Bayonetta 2, same thing. I'd never played the first Bayonetta, but I heard that Bayonetta 2 was made by Sega and releasing exclusively on the Wii U. So I picked it up, and I had an amazing time with that game. And Splatoon, I mean, it was kind of a hit, surprisingly. It did very well despite being on the Wii U. I don't know, maybe I'm romanticizing something I shouldn't, but this little console got me through a lot of tough times. I still remember the Year of Luigi announcement like it was yesterday. I still remember Iwata holding bananas in his hand. I still remember the Star Fox puppets, the robot chicken like Reggie flaming one of the audience members asking for Mother 3. I spent so many hours playing Nintendo Land with my friends, so many hours practicing my Smash skills. You know, I even got first place at a local tournament once. Please excuse my sweaty appearance. If I had a rough day at school, I knew that the Wii U was going to be there waiting for me with whatever fantastic game I wanted to play. And even when I wasn't playing games, I knew I could interact with the community online as well. Who could forget all the legendary Miiverse memes? Hype train, anybody? But yeah, this era of Nintendo was a very unique experience for all involved, I would say. But things have kind of changed ever since then. I think the tone of Nintendo definitely shifted hard since the death of Iwata. It was kind of sudden and I remember being shocked. I didn't know how to process it really. I mean, I didn't personally know him, but I still remember being deeply affected because this man was an entertainer, a presenter, a gamer. I don't know, he just wore so many hats in the gaming industry. And one day he was just gone. Afterward, Nintendo seemed to kind of scramble for an interim president, and they decided to go with Tatsumi Kimishima. Now don't get me wrong, he was a great president, and I think he handled the launch of the Nintendo Switch extremely well, despite having a huge weight on his shoulders. Like, mad props to him. He just wasn't like a character like Iwata was, which is fine, you know, he doesn't have to be. But that being said, we at least got to see him at the Nintendo Switch presentation in 2017, but we have yet to see a public appearance from Shuntaro Furukawa, which is the current president of Nintendo. Also, I thought Koizumi was gonna be kind of like the new face of Nintendo. I mean, he is one of the main developers behind the Switch and Super Mario Odyssey as well. I remember him speaking about the Nintendo Switch and these games very fondly, and I would have been on board for him being the new presenter, but nah, he hasn't really been around either. Man, things are so different now. See, they just don't do stuff like the Fizamech or the Star Fox puppets anymore, or Nintendo World Championship announcements. I'm not quite sure why. Perhaps they think it doesn't suit the image of the company very well, but I think they can get people to make skits for them that could fit well, that could work well. They made it so even the announcements were fun, but I don't know, they just don't really do that anymore. On top of that, our main man, Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was the president of Nintendo of America, in case you didn't know, he retired in 2019. It's been pretty much 2 years. The living legend himself was replaced by Doug Bowser, and he seems to be very similar to Furukawa. That is, he's just kind of all about business. We have seen him in an event or two, but yeah, he's not nearly as present in the public eye as Reggie was. And not to mention that Nintendo Directs seem to have taken a back seat in the past year. Lately, they've just been kind of dropping random announcements on Twitter. I mean, I understand why they do it, like, it still gets the same amount of press, if not more, because the tweets get retweeted by people reacting to it for the first time. But yeah, I think Nintendo Directs, as we know it, are probably dead. You know, at the end of the day, it's just about playing games. No matter what happens, there'll always be a community for Nintendo, and as long as they're putting stuff out there, I'm sure someone will be there to play them. Myself included. You know, guilty as charged, I do own quite a bit of these Wii U ports, and I pretty much own most of the sequels. Yeah, things have definitely changed since the Wii U era. Now the community's more so focused on itself, and Nintendo feels just like a company and nothing more. Before, they used to feel like part of the community, like they were down here with us on our level, you know, and we were all in this together. Also, please don't misinterpret the meaning of this video. I love the Switch. I love Splatoon 2. I love Luigi's Mansion 3, Super Mario Odyssey, all these great Switch games, and I'm really excited to see what's coming next. But I'm just kind of reminiscing on the old days. Look at me. Anyway, it's time to go and enjoy 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna be playing it. You can catch me streaming it over on twitch.tv/ptshark_. You know, at the very least, I do have a Bowser's Fury to play through. That's some new added content, and actually, I respect that Nintendo does add some new content to their ports, like Pikmin 3 has like the side stuff, you know, there is a little bit of added value, which is a nice little surprise, you know, if you do decide to double dip. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Again, twitch.tv/ptshark_. Please consider subscribing to me, it'll help a lot. And dog bless your day.